Right, okay. Welcome, everyone. We're going to start with Group A. So Group A is off to a little bit of a weird start because Dunmer has given a bye to Risky in the first match of Group A. So he's going to go straight into the winners match. Pause. So we're going to hop straight into Series 2, which is going to be a GamerRichy against PacWac. So I'm going to hop into those replays now. We're starting off on Royal Blood for a TVP. Back. Fingers crossed. Show in game. Now. Let's see. Okay, spawning in the top right of Royal Blood, playing in the blue, is GamerRichy for Berserker. And in the bottom left in orange is PacWac, who is someone I don't really know. I am going to stop for 1 second. Because I have my drugs rate on like incredibly high. Yeah, mouse scroll speed, we'll put that at 9. Someone remind me it was on 31 before. Oh, that might be too low. Okay, so we're going to start with the pylon wall to block the Reaper over in the top of this, top of the base of Royal Blood. Obviously, Richie is just doing a supply depot. So Richie is one of the sort of better players in the UK scene, I think you won't mind me saying. He's been around in the community for a long, long time. From the southeast, as all of the best UK StarCraft players are. And we are going to have racks in our own base, which is, I think, a fair start. I think if PacWac was much scarier, I would have heard of him. I hope that's not rude. So I'm sure Richie is not feeling like too much pressure coming into the series, doesn't really want to get up to any shenanigans if you're the favoured player. PacWac, on the other hand, I think has more to prove, I would guess. Don't know what MMI he plays at, so all guessing, but he is the lower seed coming into this, so obviously he's got to put on a bit more of a performance, maybe pull out something cheesier, a few more tricks, because I think in the standard game, Richie's pretty good, and he does tend to play pretty standard as far as I know. I've never really known him to be like a big cheeser, so yeah, we'll see. So PacWac's going to come in for the Probe Scout. Obviously everything looks pretty normal, doesn't get any harassment off on the racks, finishes building okay, and Richie starts his Reaper, so this will be a low ground CC. On the other hand, PacWac's just taking his expansion as Richie's going to go scout the main. Obviously not seeing anything too abnormal as of yet. Really hope they stuck with the same colour scheme because it's going to get annoying if he switches from orange. Is this a real thing? Is blocking the gas like this? I guess so. I don't play T or P, so I have no idea. Looks annoying. I'm guessing it's going to be an adept start. It's going to be a nothing start. Okay. Wasting a little bit of chrono, but I'm sure that's fine. For Richie, we have the reactor coming through nice and quick. Another racks. So I guess this will be 2-1-1 or 3 racks opening. There you go. There's the third racks now. So I think with this sort of thing, I always thought it was 2 reactors, 1 tech lab. But Raza reliably informed me that it's actually 2 tech labs. It's pretty standard as well. So I would guess we'll see 2 tech labs since we opened with the reactor. On the other hand, we should have the Adept coming across. Yeah, it's just going to shoot the Reaper away. And Richie's not going to get too much scouting. I'm sure we'll see. Yeah, he sort of hasn't really managed to get back deep into the base because of the wall at the front. And it's going to be Templar Tech PacWac, and he's proxying it. Okay, so like I said, you know, when you're the sort of the lower ranked player, you do have a bit more to prove. And proxying stuff like your Templar Council, and then maybe a Dark Shrine, if I had to guess, is the sort of thing that can get you a bit of a lead, can get you a little bit ahead. I'm going to see the Adept coming across. Still showing the Reaper away, but I guess now that PacWac has more than 1 Adept out, he can move out like this without worrying too much about the Reaper getting a load of pro kills. Going to check the chat, make sure everything is okay. Okay, fine. Still not loud, good. And there we go. So it's Proxy Dark Shrine down in the bottom left from PacWac, along with the Robo 3 is going to be a Warp Prism to get those DTs nice and fast across the map. Not really sure what Richie would think this is. Could be a few things, but I think you're not too worried about most because there's just not enough gateways for it to be like Adept or Charge. So he's just going to keep his Marines out the front. Shoo away this Adept. There you go. does look like it's going to get away. And Richie's going to pull back with these Marines, which is fine. I mean, I wonder if seeing this many Marines is going to like tip PacWac off any, if he's going to think like, you know, could be a 3 racks, especially if someone's positioning them so aggressively. But he hasn't really seen like any of the base, hasn't managed to get a good scout off at all. Richie, on the other hand, is definitely sort of, I don't know, his spider senses are tingling, thinking it's a DT opener, because he has got the turret here. Doesn't have one in the main, but I'm not really convinced that he needs one, because he should have scan energy and he's saving up plenty. So PacWac will be coming in now with the Warp Prism. Let's see how good his pick up and drop micro is, especially with the with Richie as prepared as he is. So he is now going to see that it's a 3 racks, and I wonder if this is scary at all, because you know that the opponent obviously has quite a lot of units that can come out. So he is going to need that turret after all, after using one of the scans. Pulls the workers away and then brings them back, so not a really big loss for Richie. With his upgrades finishing up, I think he wants to start getting active on the map. Seems like he's a bit worried about the DT, so he's going to keep his units back here just for now, which is probably not, you know, really what he wants to do. You know, investing so early into all these upgrades. Okay, he's cooking. Warp Prism nearly going down. PacWac, on the other hand, is expanding after scanning the 3 racks. Does he really have enough units to hold this? It's 1 Stalker, 2 Adept, so I'm going to go with no. I think we might be seeing a rapid conclusion to this one, as Richie's really moving out with everything. Hitting quite crisp timing, even has +1, so yeah, this might be a bit of a worry for PacWac. He's starting charge, but how many gateways are we even on? 2. Yeah, I'm not convinced this one is going to take too much longer. Win rate of 3 racks is absolutely insane. This build is giga imber, and this game is going to be a bit rough for PacWac. I mean, we're chronoing the Colossus now, but it's like not even close. There's only 1 pylon here, so we're just going to stim and win. Yeah, I'm not sure whether PacWac is long for this world. There you go. I mean, looks like we even lost the DT in the in Richie's base. Good news though, we do have a 3rd finished. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Kind of want to fast forward it, but I feel like that'd be rude. PacWac really is going to need a lot of kills from this DT, and I just think Richie's going to have been saving scans because he doesn't need to drop mules at all. You know, even getting his 3cc behind it, 3cc on the way, yeah, more units, yeah. It's so Jova. Let's see if I can put mouse wheel drag scroll. I don't know the setting for that. Okay, that's fine. So that's 1-0 for Richie so far. We're going to hop into game number 2 now. I wonder who wins, guys. I wonder who who wins this series. Okay, we're hopping into Babylon for game number 2. I was going to say it's a Terran map, but obviously they all are. No, it's a joke. Babylon actually seems pretty fair as far as I can tell from the win rates, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Spawning in the blue for the 2nd time in the bottom right is Berserker's GamerRichy, up 1-0. Let's see, there you go. Spawning in the top left in the orange is PacWac, down 1-0 unfortunately. Not sure about this pylon placement, because there is still a Reaper jump up spot here, but I'm not sure if like how easily you can wall it. So maybe it's just not worth it to even try. Unsure. Bit of stim and win from game number 1. I wonder if Richie will change things up. Obviously, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's always worth considering that. On the other hand, you know, when you win like quite so hard as you do in game number 1, you can get away with playing a bit more, I guess a bit more however you like. You know, he could go really fast 3cc and play really eco. He could go really fast 3 racks again, proxy something. Who knows? Richie obviously a big fan of his bio, so I'm not sure we'll get like wouldn't mind drop or anything too crazy, but we'll see. Let's see now, is this? Not really sure. Not really sure about the point of this position, because we're not walling the ramp and we're not walling the Reaper jump up, so we'll see. So PacWac is going to get full scout on Richie, sees that his racks are where they should be, so I'm not sure he's going to be too worried about this opening. On the other hand, Richie coming in with his own SCV scout. He's going to see the sus pylon position, but there we go. Okay, going to be a bit annoying and block the base for as long as he can. So in game 1 he blocked the gas, and that's obviously really annoying. In game 2 he's going to block the nexus for as long as he can. Very annoying. I mean, I guess it's not as bad as an eBay block, but not like Richie really needs to do any of this. It's just like little things you can do to inconvenience your opponent that get you little advantages, which is going to put in my head. Kind of going to see a Stalker opening this game. Obviously Adepts in game number 1. In this game it's going to be Stalker. Not sure like how that precipitates through the game, but we'll see. So the Reaper is scouting around, which is interesting because the probe is just sort of slightly further away. In game number 1, obviously it was proxied DT tech. I wonder if we're going to see proxied tech in this game as well. Going to be a fast 1-1-1 for GamerRichy, so no 3 racks, but instead getting that factory down nice and quick. He's getting a bunker. I don't know if you have to do this for safety or if he's like a bit more worried about something. Might have spotted something. It's going to be TC in his own base this time, so that's a good choice. The thing is, I don't really think he needed to proxy the DT tech in the previous game because he did a really good job of keeping the Reapers out. In this game, or the one Reaper I should say, in this game he's putting it in his own base, but he's going to have a harder time keeping the Reaper back, I think. So it's going to be Stalker opener, so I guess it's Blink. Wonder if it telegraphs quite that easily. Don't play Protoss, so I couldn't tell you, but we'll see. Richie is a bit perturbed, taking his CC on the high ground, which obviously you don't really want to do. Ideally the bunker would be down here and you could just lift this straight away and take it. It's going to be Tech Lab on the factory and then pumping Marines for a bit, so no Hellion opening. And the Blink starts now. Not sure if Richie's just playing this really safe because he's suspicious of something. Yeah, he's scouting around for this probe. Oh, nearly scouted it there with the Reaper. I guess he just never caught the probe on the map, so he's sort of a bit worried that it might be hiding somewhere, taking some kind of tech, but does not seem to be in this game. He is going to now push down and take the CC, which obviously he's free to do because he's got plenty of Marines out. Expect he will salvage this bunker before too long. It's going to be a Cyclone opener. I guess Cyclone followed by tank. It's pretty safe against sort of the blink play you can do on this map. Not sure. I guess there's only you can really blink here. Doesn't feel amazing. Going to get a Raven coming out, which is obviously good for scouting. Things like the obs, when you try and doing the blink micro, you can see the obs and kill it way more easily than trying to scan it. I'm sure Richie is pretty adept at seeing the obs and scanning them out. On the other hand, PacWac's getting his Robo. I guess for Warp Prism and obs, like I said. More gateways. Thing is, I just think Richie will have seen this sort of thing a million times. Not sure it's going to phase him too much. We are getting the first tank out now. We've got plenty of Marines. Playing really safe, keeping this bunker for a long time. And another bunker on the low ground just to be like very secure against everything. So PacWac does look like he's going to be taking a third. So I guess he's getting the blink, but kind of more defensively and not going for some kind of like 3 or 4 gate blink. Oh, we should have got Zane. I did offer for Zane to co-cast, but he's helping T-Bone move house, so what can I say? Okay. Reaper died, but I thought I saw something flashing over here, but I guess I'm seeing things. So the first Stalkers are going to move across the map now, which is pretty standard and good to get some harassment done, but I just think Richie's like batting down the hatches really well, and he's not going to get too much done. It's going to be Robotech for Disruptors and Colossus following this up, and then Charge on the way as well. So he's going to poke in. Bit of Blink Micro. Hasn't killed anything. Richie does do a big pull to keep the bunker alive, but don't think it matters too much. Yeah, I think just two boys chilling like that is going to hold it well enough. With the obs coming up, obviously we have this Raven, so yeah, it's going to fly straight in and die immediately. Let's see. Sticking around with these Stalkers, yeah, he's going to see the tank and he's going to have to run back home. It is going to be Colossus. I think he needs to get Thermal Lance, otherwise they're a bit useless, so we'll see if he chooses that. I guess you can do like 1 Colossus and then Disruptors behind if you're like not keen on committing to it, but I'm not sure that's good, honestly. I think even like 1 Colossus with Thermal Lance is better than like for the investment. It's not like your Robo Robo Bay is going to do anything if you don't get the research, so He does have a third coming, and Richie does not have a third CC. Another ob's getting taken out, so this Raven is really paying dividends this game. But honestly, I'm not sure Richie is going to need the third CC. He looks pretty okay with the units he's on now. Guess waiting for a +1, and then he'll head out with his... Yeah, it even was a 3 Rex in this game as well. The win rate must be insane. Head up for a bit of a tank push. The Raven as well, he can shut down that Colossus. Okay, it's going to be extended lance, and he's now after the Chrono because he realised that he'd kind of forgotten it. Let's see, are we going to make another Colossus? Can we afford another Colossus? Not if we're making Zealots. Does look like Richie's starting to go for the push out. We have a hallucinated Phoenix flying through, but obviously Richie knows it's hallucinated and he doesn't really care if PacWac sees what he's got. It's going to be the CC behind. But this is a pretty scary force for Richie. Obviously he's up, yeah, nearly double basically the army value, so it's going to be a bit of a miracle hold if PacWac can. We'll see. Okay, the Charge Shot is coming in. I think I'm going to splash on the bio because the tanks are going to draw the fire, but this attack was just sort of disjointed. The Zealots went, then the Stalkers went. Now with the Colossus sort of turned off by the Raven, I think Richie's going to be able to push up and siege pretty effectively. Again, the Rover was at the front and there's only one pylon powering it, so this I think will get shut down pretty quick. So there are going to be 2 Colossus out, but Richie still has enough for another interference matrix, and he has 2 Vikings already out to harass these Colossus away with, and it's looking worse now than it was before. Richie putting a lot of pressure onto this third, which is good, but I think really we need to start like sieging and go for the kill, but maybe with battery overcharge and that sort of thing, you can get a little bit worried about, you know, overextending and really over pushing your lead. Okay, PacWac's gonna have to go for the break, but I just don't think he has enough units to really go for it. There's the two interferences, both Colossus turned off, shut down and killed. There you go, single G. Well played, Richie. Good dub, mate, good dub.